Hey everybody, good to see you again. So, your previous assignment that you were supposed to do in this class was to use wordreference.com to fill in our vocabulary list over different classroom objects. So, at this point, you should be familiar with how to say things like pen and pencil and paper and all that kind of stuff. Now, now that you've done that, we need to address something that I've kind of kept hidden from you because it's a little complicated in terms of how French numbers work. So, up until now, I've definitely taught you how to count to 20 in French. So we have un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept, huit, neuf, dix. And then for 11 through 20, remember we have that Z sound, so it's onze, douze, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, haha, and lastly, 20. So far, we have 10 original numbers at the beginning. We have 10 numbers that are inspired by the original numbers, but that have the Z sound to denote they're a teen number. So far, we're pretty in line with what English does. For the next couple of numbers, we're also going to be really in line with what English does. So for 21, it's going to be 20 et un. Remember that a we've talked about before means and. So we have 21, which is 20 and 1. So 21. After the ones place, though, our pattern becomes 20 and then the number after that. So for my sake, I'm going to copy 20 so I don't have to type it a million times. But you have 20 dash and then the number place that it is. So 22 is 22. 23 is going to be 23. 24 is going to be 24. 25 is going to be 25. 26, 26. 27, 27. 28, 28. 29, 29. And then when we get to a new tens place number, just like in English, we're going to have a new number, a new word for the tens place number. So the number for 30 is 30. After 30, we have, again, the pattern. So we go 30, and then 31 is going to be 30 et un. 31. 30 and 1. And then after that is going to be 32. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37. 38. 39. And then again, another tens place number. Now, what I want you to notice here before we go into this tens place number is that after 20, we started to have that similarity start appearing again. So we have 3, 13, and 30. That ant sound is going to be what tells us that this is a tens place number. So 30 was 30. 40 is going to be 40. 40. So again, we're hearing that ant sound. And 40 is, of course, going to follow the same pattern that 30 and 20 did. So we have 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. And then another tens place number. So we had 5, we had 15, and now we're going to have 50. So we have 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, which is a fun one for me to say. I like 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. Now, 60 is again going to follow the pattern. So what I want you to do is I want you to, on your own, pause the video, and I want you to try to write out what you think 60 to 69 will be. So pause the video, try to write it on your own, and then after that, we'll check in. Okay, so let's look at what they are. 60 goes into then 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, and 79. And at this point, you've probably been maybe screaming at your screen and going like, Mr. Finley, what are you doing? Why in the world are you saying 60-10, 60-11, 60-12? What is this nonsense? What are you doing? And so French is really weird. This is the part that I didn't mention to you about the numbers. So once you get to 69, you go to 70, which is not a new number. It is instead 60-10. And therefore, since 60-10 is 70, obviously 71 would be 60 and 11, right? Because it's 60 plus 11. You know, that makes perfect sense. And then 72 would be 60-12, 60-13, 60-14, 60-15, 60-16, 60-17, 60-18, or 60-18, 60-19. Now, this is weird. It does have a historical basis. The basis that I've heard for it historically is that, so Rome, historical major empire, conquered France at one point. But there were people that lived there before Rome conquered them. Those people were called the Gaul, and the Gaul used a system of counting that was based around the number 20. So their 20-base system persisted in the French system even after the Romans conquered them. And so once you got up to 70, you started counting in the 20 system instead of counting in the 10 system. For those of you that are curious about that, if you really love math, there is a lot of fun research to be done about that. But for the sake of time in this video, we are going to move on from here. Now, the weirdness does not stop here. So 79, 79, is not followed by an original number for 80. 80 is a math problem. So the number for 80 in French is 80. Now this is using numbers that we are used to from before, right? So we have 4, which is 4, and 20, which is 20. And notice that this 20 has an S on the end of it. That S is because this is plural. There's 4 of the 20s. And so we don't say a new number for 80. We say 80, which is 4 20s. And so, of course, when you say 81, it's 81. And when you say 82, it's 82. And 83, 83, 84, 85. Sorry, I'm really laughing because this is, I can't imagine how you all are reacting to this because this is hilarious every single time I teach it in class. I'm sorry I'm not there for this. 86, 87, 88, 89. And then of course, it's not it's not a new number for 90. It's now 90. And then 91, 92, 93. I know, it's hilarious, Olive. I love it. 94, 95, and then 96, 97, 98, and then, of course, 99, 99. Now, thankfully, at this point, we get back to normal. And normal is just going to be that the number 100 in French is cent. This is where we get our English word cent. It's where we get the idea of a percent, right? Per 100, per cent. So this is exactly like how we use 100. So how do we use 100? Well, if we have 200, we say 200. 200. If we have 300, same deal, right? 300. If we have 110, that's going to be 110. And so all the numbers work exactly like you think they would from this point forward. Okay. So recap of the nonsense that we just looked at. First 20 works like English. 20 through 69 works like English. One exception, when you're doing the ones place number, you have an and sign. And then when you get to 70, the nonsense starts. 70 is 60, 10, and therefore logically the next number is 60 and 11, 60, 12, 60, 13, and so on going up. 80 is 4 20s. And then it's 4 20s in 1, 4 20s 2, 4 20s 3, and so on going up until you get to 90, which is 4 20s and 10. And then we have 4 20s and 11, 4 20s 12, 4 20s 13, 4 20s 14, and so on going up. Now, the reason that the numbers really, really matter is that what we're doing now with classroom supplies is your assignment today is to tell me how many of each classroom supply that you have. So how does that look? Let's take a number from or a word from your vocab list that you probably have. So crayon. Now, crayon means pencil, right? And if we have one crayon, that would be un crayon. But what if we have more than one pencil? Well, if we have more than one pencil, we're going to replace our number with the number that we have. So if we have 10 pencils, we would say 10, and then we need to make crayon plural. Thankfully, for the most part in French, making words plural works the exact same way that it does in English, where you're just adding an S onto the word to make it plural. Notice, though, that we did replace our article with a number. This is the exact same as you do in English, right? So in English, I don't say the 10 crayons or 10 the crayons. I say 10 crayons. Sorry, 10 pencils. And so that's why this is going to happen. So what you're going to do for your assignment today on this assignment is, first off, you're going to put the secret word. The secret word today is, let's see. Oh, the secret word today is happy birthday, because today's actually my birthday. So you're going to put happy birthday as the secret word. And then after that, you are going to make a list of the classroom supplies that you currently have. So you are going to count up the number of pencils that you have, number of pens that you have, and you're going to make a list of what you have on you right now. So I guess this is the one time you're rewarded for not having any school supplies if you don't have any school supplies. Don't worry about counting the number of pieces of paper you have. That sounds ridiculous, so you don't have to do that. You're going to write out this list for me, and you're going to write that secret word of happy birthday, and then you are done with the assignment for today. Thank you all very much for your time. I hope you have a good rest of your day. I'm going to go enjoy my birthday with my daughter. And we are eating lots of cheesecake today. It's going to be great. Okay. You all have a good time. Bye-bye.